Pay attention, everyone. I'm about to give you a simple instruction on a simple Zerg build. I have done a build on a speed Ling rush, just a bunch of Lings toward the enemy. This is basically the next step up in terms of adding a little bit of complexity in the control and a little bit of variety and diversity in your unit setup. So this is just a Ling Bane bust. The opening is very similar to the previous one, 13 Overlord and then a drone. You make 2 more drones once your Overlord is ready. And then another drone up to 17 supply. You rally one of your eggs to the extractor. And then as soon as you build that extractor, you're going to make another drone. And then rally this next egg to be a hatch, or sorry, a pool at 17. I messed it up. So it's 17 gas, 17 pool, 18 hatch. You want to fill the gas pretty fast whenever it's about to finish. This is an aggressive build. Aggressive builds, you want to make sure you're really sharp with the timings of the Ling speed and the Bane nest. I made 1 more worker. And then I'm pulling one down at 18 supply to take a hatch. 18 hatch. Hotkey it. Make another drone. And then you want to be mindful of your minerals, so you have 150 as soon as your pool is done to make a queen. So I'm going to stop drone production here for a moment. I have 15 on minerals and 3 in the gas, queen, and Ling speed. And I'm making 4 Lings here. This supply blocks me, but this is on purpose. There's my Ling speed. And then I'm going to make an Overlord. And a Bane nest at the next 50 gas. Okay, the Lings are coming out. And the idea of these first 4 Lings is to hide some on the enemy side of the map to morph Banes. Speedlings are the fastest unit in the game. Banes without speed are quite slow. So this is my way of getting some Banes on my opponent's side pretty reliably. I'm making more Lings now. This isn't all in, so I'm going to make a second queen. And I'm just using 2 queens and 17 workers and just going all in with Ling Bane. So I want to keep my bases injected, spend my minerals into Lings and my gas into Banes. I'm looking for an Overlord if I can get one, but it's not super important. Hiding some of these Lings. Then as soon as my Bane nest is done, I want to morph those 4 Lings into Banes. Sending this queen to inject the natural, making all Zerglings and 1 Overlord. Making Banes, and I use the steal function to put those Banes on a different control group. Lings and Banes have different target prioritization, so it's good to have them in different keys. And if you use the steal versions, then it removes them from your Ling group, which is nice. So here I want to use my Lings to kill drones and queens, and then use my Banes to kill clusters of units if I can. You don't want to run the Banes into queens, that's a really bad trade. Banes into drones is good. So now I'm just trying to spend my money, keep the pressure on, kill whatever clusters of units I can. I'm using my Bane to focus on the Lings here instead of the drones, which allows my Lings to continue to do damage. Focusing on the micro, killing a queen is good. Killing queens gives you a larva advantage, which makes it harder for the enemy to spend their money. And I'm really trying to keep my gas as close to 0 as possible, just spending all of it into Banes and all of my larvae into Lings. If you wanted to transition, you could just switch to droning at some point. But if you do get some damage in, sometimes it's best to just keep producing units to prevent the opponent from catching up and getting ahead. That was a mistake. Ling Bane control is pretty much always messy. You want to try the best you can, but it's going to have mistakes on both sides regardless of what league you're in. This is a pretty good build for practicing Ling Bane control, because you create a pretty simple scenario that involves a lot of trades. Sending Banes in 2x2 is the best. Makes you less vulnerable to 2 Banes blowing up a big cluster of your Banes. Usually I just right-click stuff with my Banes, but you can also use the manual detonation ability. Keeping up the injects, spending the minerals into Lings. And the opponent is gradually falling over and dying here. I'm making Lings here off of 18 drones, the opponent has 13. I have the same number of queens, but I've injected both of my bases, so I have a larva advantage. The opponent has only injected one of them. Banelings do one-hit larva as well, so probably for 2 or more it would be a good trade to put 1 Bane into the larva. Be careful though, because the eggs can absorb tons of Banes. You don't want to use your Banes to attack eggs, but hitting larva is good. The conventional wisdom is 2 Lings for a Bane is a good trade for the Lings. 3 Lings for a Bane is a pretty even trade. And anything more than 3 Lings for a Bane is bad for the Lings. Little scenarios like this, by forcing the drones to split, that's a small victory on its own, and you don't always want to trade this, because this is stopping the mining of the workers. Yep, there you go. Little Ling Bane build guide for you. 17 gas, 17 pool, 18 hatch, Ling Bane. 17 workers all in.